What are some very comforting facts? If you make it to the airport without dying, you've already passed the deadliest part of plane travel. Your pets will forgive you if you accidentally step on them. Petting animals lowers cortisol. It's illegal in Switzerland to own just one guinea pig. You have to have at least two if you want to have any. Guinea pigs get lonely. The dog estimates the time of your return home by how much of your smell is left in the house from your morning routine. Bees inform their friends about good flowers nearby by dancing. India's tiger population grew from 1,411 in 2006 to 2,967 tigers as per the 2018 census. Based on the best available information, tiger populations are stable or increasing in India, Nepal, Bhutan, Russia and China. But much more work is needed to protect this species if we are to secure its future in the wild. It's most likely a higher number once you consider that this only counts the tigers that decided to respond to the census. There's a place in Japan called Capybara Land, where you can hang out with capybaras and see them chilling in hot springs. Sometimes dogs in movies have to have CGI tails because they keep wagging their tails. They are just so happy to be there. The ozone layer is slowly repairing itself. Tarantulas keep tiny frogs as pets sometimes. The frogs eat ants and other insects that the tarantula can't kill, which would otherwise eat the spider's eggs. In turn, the frog gets a place to live and the best goddamn bodyguard you can ask for. I'm just imagining The Rock living with Danny DeVito and needs him to kill the cockroaches cause The Rock is too big. Make The Rock scared of the cockroaches and scream like a little girl whenever he sees one, and add a terrorist hit squad after Danny DeVito because he saw their plans to assassinate the president while he was delivering a pizza, and you have a Hollywood buddy road trip movie half written right there. Cheetahs are very shy animals. So some zoos give them support dogs like those for humans. It's the cutest thing ever. The bigger reason for this is that cheetahs' vision likes to hyperfocus. In a crowd like one's at the zoo, they would get anxious looking at each individual and would try to analyze each person, which can be very stressful for them. Dogs are very good at reading groups and crowds. They pair a dog with the cheetah to rely on emotionally. If the dog is calm, the cheetah will trust them that there's nothing to worry about from those crowds. How zoo prevent the cheetah from killing the dog? They're typically introduced at a very young age and imprint on each other. Cheetahs are also not naturally driven to kill dogs as prey. A cheetah could kill a dog, but typically a cheetah would never hunt a dog in the wild. If it was in its territory, or if a dog appeared hurt and by itself, a cheetah might go for an opportunistic kill, but those are special circumstances. The most likely situation you'd see in the wild would be if they were hunting the same prey and they fought over a kill. Most seahorses are monogamous and mate for life. Young seahorses actually go on dates with their prospective partner before settling and starting to procreate. They can also be seen swimming in pairs with their tails linked together. And the puffer fish creates a work of art for his prospective love. One of the most extraordinary things. Next month we'll start to see some images from James Webb. A NASA presentation on the 12th. Our next step on learning about the early universe begins. Sea otters hold hands when they sleep to keep from drifting apart. There is a type of mold growing around the elephant's foot in Chernobyl. This mold eats radiation, and the radioactivity of the elephant's foot has decreased drastically since the mold started growing there. IDK, it's just comforting to me that the planet can heal no matter how bad the scar we left. Zebras rest with their heads on each other's backs so they can literally watch their zebra buddies back. Plus it looks like a zebra hug. Switzerland has implemented a scheme, Time Bank, which is an old age assistance program, under which people can volunteer to look after the elderly who require assistance, and then the number of hours they spend with or caring for seniors gets deposited in their individual Social Security account. Eventually, when the volunteer reaches that old age when he or she requires support, this Time Bank can help them by providing time-based services which include consultations, babysitting, hairdressing, gardening, tutoring, or any other time-consuming job in addition to being looked after by a volunteer as well. About 34 countries are trying to apply this scheme. Very wholesome and humane. There is a group of bikers called Bikers Against Child Abuse who support child abuse victims in court by looking tough and giving the kids confidence to testify against their abusers. It's actually an international group. Know that really embarrassing thing you did? Well, there's a high likelihood no one else remembers it. If they do, life will give them far more experiences. That one thing will seem like nothing in comparison. If 99% of the world population finds you unattractive, there are still 78 million people in the world that find you attractive. That's a lot of people. Edit. Thanks to you, Trixie Lurker, that commented the actual amount. There's an island in Japan populated only by bunnies. This past year there has been a massive breakthrough on SIDS research. Meaning in the future we may be able to detect SIDS in infants and possibly avoid as many infant deaths. Edit. Oh wow. My first gold. If you want to fund research for SIDS and support for grieving families, here are some resources you can donate to. The First Candle Foundation, Damien's Legacy, the Sleep Health Foundation, Bereaved Parents USA, the Iris Foundation. Crows will let other crows know if you're a good person. Feeding a crow in your backyard can quickly become many crows over time since the rumor spreads. And nearby crows in your area will know you as one they like. They can also be known to be protective of you and even bring you gifts. Suffice to say, crows are one of the most intelligent creatures on the planet and they are truly underrated. Saw a documentary about a guy who fed the crows who visited his backyard. The crows actually befriended the guy's pet cat and the cat enjoyed playing with the crows. One day the cat, who spent part of every day outside, did not come home. Later the guy discovered it had been attacked, probably by a coyote, and had been killed. Several days later the crows found the cat's collar and brought it to the guy, leaving it in the backyard birdbath where they had often left little gifts, a toy car, a child's barrette, etc., for the guy. He wept telling that story and I wept hearing it. I thought you were going to say they killed the coyote out of revenge and brought it to the owner. 90% of what can kill us on this earth, luckily for us, lives in some distant place called Australia.